Today on John Eats Cheap, I've got a couple of ingredients that were really on sale. Shredded cheese for $1.25 a bag. Macaroni for 69 cents a box. Milk for 77 cents. What do you use milk, cheese, and macaroni for? It's comfort food time. Homemade macaroni and cheese. I love homemade macaroni and cheese. I've been making it ever since I learned how to cook. It's basic ingredients: macaroni, milk, cheese, butter, a little flour for a roux. This is a great dish, not only to eat at home, but we're going to a potluck today. So we're going to take an aluminum container of macaroni and cheese. It's always gone. You don't have to worry about bringing it home. That's why we have to left over ahead of time, so we have some for dinner tonight or lunch the rest of the week. Here's what we got: cheese, milk, butter, flour, and macaroni. Let's get the macaroni going. Macaroni is cooked. As you can see, I like to use the big elbow macaroni over the small stuff. The big one has more space to fill with that creamy cheese sauce, which we're going to make now. We start off by making a roux. Now, I am going to warn you ahead of time, if you're on cholesterol meds, take them now, because this is not a low cholesterol with all the butter and cheese. I start off, for this batch I'm making, I'm doing a little more than one batch that I usually make, so I'm doing 1.5 sticks of butter, and then you add an equal amount of flour, which is 6 ounces here. Now, when I'm making this today, I'm just using regular all-purpose flour. You could also make this gluten-free very easily. You can get the macaroni gluten-free at any grocery store. And I used rice flour when we had company that needed gluten-free. The rice flour is gluten-free, and I used the same amount. Everything tasted the same, and it made it just as thick. Made the roux and the cheese sauce just as thick as regular flour. So it's a great alternative for gluten-free. Now we're going to cook the roux just for a minute or two. Let it cook. It won't really change color a lot. We don't have to cook it like a Cajun roux where they like to do it for half an hour until it gets really dark peanut butter colored. We're just going to do a real light roux, just long enough to cook the flour a little bit. Now we start adding the milk to the roux after a couple minutes of cooking. Just need to mix it in slowly so you don't get too much cold in there with the hot roux, or it'll lump up. You can usually whisk it out even if it does lump up, so it's not a horrible problem. Just add and whisk. We don't want it too thick because when we add the cheese, it'll thicken up as well. So it's okay for it to be a little runny. I am going to add some salt. All in all, I probably end up putting about 1 quart of milk in, somewhere in that area. 1 quart, maybe a little bit more. Like I said, it's okay to have the cream sauce be a little bit runny, because when we add the cheese, that'll thicken it up. And the macaroni, when it bakes, will also absorb some of the moisture, so it'll be good. Now we've got the cheese sauce all ready to go. We've got the cooked macaroni drained. So we're gonna add the macaroni into the pool. Now look, that looks good already, doesn't it? All right, we're pretty well mixed up. Now this is actually a consistency. A lot of people may say, well, that looks ready to eat. That's the way my son prefers it. He prefers it just this way. And you know, it does look pretty good. And it would be just fine this way. So this is what we're taking to the potluck. There we go. This is into a sprayed aluminum pan. I did spray it with non-stick spray. So that's almost ready to go, but we're going to top it first. Now here's how we're going to top the macaroni and cheese. It's not quite done yet. We got to add a little extra cheese, and for a little crunch, we like to have potato chips. You can get the broken up stuff already off the bottom of the bag, or just mash them up yourself. Oh. Dewey, chip time. Dewey says, who needs macaroni and cheese? I'll just eat the chips. And there we have it. It's ready to bake in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes until it gets brown and bubbly and really, really good. Gets that cheesy crust on top. That's the way we like it. And we have leftovers for when we get home. By the way, reheated, just add a little milk to it and it'll be extra, extra gooey good. Thanks for watching John Eats Cheap. All right, we're at the potluck. We're into the lineup. The finished mac and cheese, ready to devour.